If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's go! We've got new equipment.
Yay!
The drought is over.
And also, I'm a moron.
No, I will fight you. You are not a moron.
So I woke up early this morning, had
Yeah.
to run some errands, do
Woke
some
up.
things.
Fell out of bed. Cold across your head.
And I got back around 7 a.m.
Dang.
It was an early day. I didn't like it. But got home around 7 a.m.
Mhm.
Now I very rarely wake and bake.
Yeah.
It's just not my jam.
Yeah.
But then I decided to try it. I'm like, you know what? I had errands and stuff to run, and I'm like, all the stores are closed until 10 anyway. 7 a.m. If I go to the gym and everything now, I won't be able to run my errands because everything will still be closed.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna take a little nap,
Yeah.
get up at 9, and then go have my workout around 9:30, and then everything will be open and I can run my errands.
There you go.
But I'm gonna be spontaneous. I'm gonna be exotic.
Exotic.
I decided to eat a Mike Tyson's bite.
Okay. Mike Tyson has a line of
Yes.
edibles?
Mike Tyson has a line of edibles called
Nice.
Mike Tyson Bites. They're all the little
He
gummies
does.
are shaped like ears with a bite taken out
Oh
of the
my
top.
god.
So I had one,
Okay.
laid down, went to sleep.
Mhm.
I didn't crawl my black ass out of bed until 12:15.
Dang.
Knocked
Oh
me
my
the fuck
god.
out.
Hell yes. It's Mike Tyson. He does it it's his raison d'etre. It is his thing.
Man, I was out.
He's gonna knock you out.
Tyson
Mike's
said,
gonna
knock you out. Man, I thought I was just going to lay down and take a nice little 90-minute, 2-hour nap and woke up at fucking noon.
Dang. It's called Mike Tyson Bites.
And all the
With their
gummies
little
look like little ears.
And one?
I only ate one.
Good God.
Yeah,
Go, Mike.
I only ate one.
Dang, Mike.
And never
Jesus,
again.
Mike.
I woke up like, this is why I don't wake and bake. Shit like this is why I don't wake and bake because, man.
That's taking bed. Yeah. No wake and bake. Taking bed.
Oh, I'll give you one. I'll give you some.
Oh, goody. I'm so excited.
I have like 2 packages of these things.
Good. God bless Mike Tyson. I'm guessing this is like a dose for him.
Man.
Everyone will get the same dose I get.
Man. Although if you ever want to get knocked out by Mike Tyson, do it on his edibles. Don't let that man punch you in the face. That'll kill you.
No.
That'll kill
He'll
you.
die. Logan Paul is about to find out.
Oh, man.
Because
Yeah.
I don't care how old Mike Tyson gets. You're fucked.
He's still Mike Tyson.
Exactly. And that internet child will die.
I low-key think he's going to think it's an honor to get pummeled by the champ.
I hope so.
But in case you didn't know where you are, this is not the Mike Tyson got Samara incredibly high hour.
But it could be.
I am Samara.
And I'm Jeannie.
And this is Talk Deadly to Me. Oh, it's been a while, but are you ready to pick up where we left off on part 2 of Peter and Renette
Yes,
Bergna?
it's been like a month.
It's been a while since I've talked about this murder.
It's been a while.
You know that Stained is going on tour with somebody inexplicable, Breaking Benjamin.
Breaking Benjamin? I forgot. I couldn't tell you who that is anymore.
They had one song, My Polyamorous Friend. That's all I remember. That's all I remember.
All right.
Breaking Benjamin had a song about polyamory.
Very ahead of their time.
but now they're on tour with Stain, so I'm
I can't believe that Stained is still a thing that's going out into the world.
Trapped still goes out into the world.
That's true. Oh my god.
Although they're not as drunk as Stain.
True.
The dude from Stained, I read somewhere, got so drunk
Yeah.
that he did It's Been a While 3 times in one set because he forgot that he had done it. But you know what? That's the song we came for. So
Exactly.
do it again.
Everyone who was there at that concert, this is the greatest of all time. First he opened with It's Been a While.
And then we were halfway through and he did It's Been a
Been a
While.
while
And then he closed it with
since I did this song again.
and then he
Been like
closed it.
5 minutes.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did that song 3
Oh my
times in one
God.
night because he was so fucking drunk he forgot that he
He
had
did
done it.
that. He did the Sound of Silence once. And then he did a cover of Sting's If I Ever Lose My Faith in
Oh
You.
my god.
You have to hear that bullshit. It's as
Oh.
bad. It's just
I
as
no,
bad
I don't
as
need
you imagine.
it's I know way too much about Stained and I'm upset about what I know. And I know it's way too much.
You'll find it eventually.
You know what? On a scale of Limp Bizkit to Corey Feldman, how bad is it?
Oh, not as bad as Corey Feldman.
With Ascension of Millennium being the
That's
peak.
actually backdoor glorious.
It is a
Yeah,
thing
no,
of
Corey
maddening
Feldman
beauty.
is sad and tragic and
Yes.
trash. Ascension Millennium is
And if you've never seen Corey Feldman's Ascension Millennium video, go on the
Do
YouTube and
it.
find that
It's
shit
like
because
it
it was
seems like something that was on Adult Swim. You thought it was a joke. He was in on it.
and it's
just
not. This is
Ascension
Millennium. Man.
And it's a Goonies sequel.
I'm telling you, Sean Astin's
Uh,
wife made him show up.
Yeah. No, I would put it as the most middle-aged thing to middle-age out of the Middle Ages.
I just imagine Sean Astin's wife going, Sean,
Yes.
it's Corey. You've known him since you were a kid.
You're basically his dad.
Just do him this one
He
favor.
was raised by Gomez Adams. Of course, he's like going to be like the most like nurturing, loving.
But I can imagine Sean not wanting to go,
Yeah.
but his wife going, Sean,
Fine.
he hasn't been the same since the other Corey died. Just go
True.
help him out. You've been friends for ages.
Yeah.
He's like one of your handful of surviving childhood friends. Do this.
Truth.
Do this for him.
Yeah.
And then he showed up in that stupid video. Now, where we last left off,
Yes.
the Riella family had filed a wrongful death suit against Peter
Good. Yes.
because he was telling too many versions
Yeah.
of what happened to
Yeah.
Renette in the
And they're getting
accident.
mad. They're like, "You did it."
And the cops are tired of them playing, Peter playing in their face, and
Right.
now it's just everybody's focused on building a case against Peter.
Yes.
So by the spring of 1999, 2000 party over, it's out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. Woo!
That is such a good song.
And actually, we were alive when that happened, so it was very weird.
I know, there was anxiety.
It was, but then we got to listen to that song in a loop for like a
It's
year,
true.
which was great.
Nothing felt as good as that song in 98 and 99.
And few things ever will again.
Yeah. True.
So by 1999, it was clear to the cops that they may never find a smoking gun to nail Peter with.
Yeah.
And if they're ever going to prove that Peter staged this accident that killed Renette, they're going to have to build a really solid circumstantial case. They had done dozens of accident reconstructions of the replica of Peter's truck. Remember, I think I said in episode 1, each recreation that they did was based on one of Peter's scenarios in the interview.
Oh my God.
And none of them in the devastating accident that
Yeah.
kills Renette. Everything is left-hand turn. accident never happens. They
Yeah.
even made up shit.
That's amazing. I'm imagining this as like a Wes Anderson montage with like Bill Murray and Fight Club guy, what's his name? Edward Norton,
Yeah.
like painstakingly going through things and like just in the most dollhouse way.
Yes. It's a lot of that.
But like, wow, the effort and the homework going into this.
You don't play in people's faces like that.
This is,
You do
yeah.
not go into the polygraph room and push, push. You don't do that.
Exactly.
You do not play. There's playing in people's faces, and they're playing
Yeah.
in people's faces.
You don't call cops stupid, and you don't call civil servants assholes. That's how you like make your life impossible.
Right. Do not
Don't
play.
do it.
Just don't play in people's faces like that. Just don't do that. Like, yeah, they made up scenarios. After none of Peter's scenarios worked, they're like, well,
Well,
let's try
of course,
this.
He's such a fucking liar.
Let's try that.
That might be, man, like just the Sherlock Holmesing of it all. But how would you get a truck that far over, but not blowing up and
and not blowing up and like it was a catastrophic accident that
Yeah.
killed Renette.
Mhm.
So how do we get there?
Yeah.
How does this thing lose control so badly? This catastrophic accident
Yeah.
happens.
Curiosity will take you far.
Right? So they tried all of Peter's scenarios and a bunch of shit that Peter never even said, just because they was like, how could it happen
Yeah.
without it being
But for real.
right? Like, is there any way
Mhm.
that this accident could have happened,
Yeah.
air quotes, organically? Could it be an accident?
Exactly.
And nothing worked. Sometimes the truck wasn't going fast enough to break the barrier. Other times the truck would be going fast enough to break through, but it would never create enough force to create the violent crash
Yeah.
that killed Renette. And even when they got to get it to go through, they're letting it go through because they want it to. A left-hand turn would fix all of this.
Yes. Yeah. Willfulness. There needs to be a little willfulness in this.
They also were never able to recreate a situation where Peter would have been violently thrown from the truck,
Yeah.
like he said he was.
Yeah. It
Oh,
doesn't make sense.
he said Peter says he sticks with that he was thrown from the truck. Of course, he's going to stick with that.
I am outside the truck. I was thrown out.
But when asked about his lack of injury, because being thrown from a moving vehicle going over the cliff is
Right?
a very violent thing,
Yeah.
he said he was thrown out of the open driver's side window. And that's why he only had a little bit of dust on his booty,
Yes.
a little
It
bit on
makes
his cheeks.
perfect sense. Mm-hmm.
The most perfect thrown out
Yeah.
of the window ever. So, yeah, no matter which of Peter's stories they try
Mm-hmm.
or stories that they make up,
Yeah.
they're never able to recreate this accident
Uh,
in a
Yeah.
way that makes sense.
Yeah. Because he's a fucking liar.
Right. So since they're not able to recreate the accident, the cops start looking at Peter and any evidence that they could find on his clothing or person that
Hmm.
would indicate that Peter had gotten out of the car and staged the accident that killed Renette.
Nice.
When the cops went back to Peter to try to get more information about the accident, suddenly he's got nothing more to say.
Oh, imagine
It's very
that.
silent, Peter. Also, Peter had hired a lawyer.
Yeah, that sounds like lawyer. Yeah. He did something smart. It has to be a lawyer.
And is actively refusing more questioning. And that would leave the cops spending about another year.
Mhm.
They would take about a year to
Wow.
look for alternative evidence to prove that Renette's death was a murder.
Wow. Dedication.
Well, they said from almost from jump, we're not going to find a smoking gun here.
No. No way.
And this is going to be circumstantial and it's going to take a long time to figure it out. So meanwhile, while the cops are resigning themselves to the fact that they're going to need the next year and some
Yeah.
change to cobble together some evidence,
Yes.
Peter is busy moving on with his life.
Ugh. Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
And by the late spring of 1999,
Mhm.
Peter had left the tiny town of Incline Village
Yes.
and moved in with his girlfriend Robin
No.
to Seattle.
Wow.
Yep, all the way to Seattle.
How convenient that his new lady is so far from the scene of the crime.
Actually, he didn't plan it that way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
So in the fall of 1998, about 5 months after Renette's death,
Mhm.
Peter meets Robin Russell,
Okay.
a 40-year-old trust manager from a bank that Peter worked with, because he got no game anywhere else.
Yeah,
He's got to go for coworkers.
he does. Because he's pathetic.
And he's got those Abe Pagoda eyebrows.
Ugh.
You
Yeah,
have to be Abe Pagoda to have those eyebrows. Those are the only time eyebrows like
true.
that are
Or
acceptable.
you have to be really into him.
Or, I mean, I'm really into Abe Pagoda. I love Abe
Ah!
Pagoda.
Yeah.
Even when he was like young in Barney Miller,
Yeah.
when he was only like 30, but he looked like he was 80.
Yeah, right? He
I just love Abe Pagoda.
did.
Maybe it's just my,
He's a national treasure.
he's dead.
Shockingly recently. Like, not this year, but it's like
Within the last 5.
exactly. Like, he didn't die in the 90s? Yeah.
No, no, Abe was like, you will not go on without me.
No.
So according to Robin, when she met Peter, he was still in mourning for Renette,
Uh.
and he just needed a friend.
Okay.
And in later interviews, Peter's assistant would say that it was around this time Peter was such a mess that she was picking up most of his work and just leaving him to mope around and watch
Yeah.
TV. She
Uh-huh.
was handling most of the business for him and Butterfields.
Yeah.
Not getting any extra commissions or anything for it, but she's handling it.
Mhm.
And that makes him an asshole of a different stripe. But we'll leave that
True.
for another day. Peter was so depressed. How depressed was he? Well, he was so depressed
Yeah.
that the Butterfields people were beginning to worry about him
Oh
and
my
his mental
God.
health.
What is he depressed about? That his ass isn't getting kissed hard enough?
People aren't feeling sorry enough for him. He's not getting any pity fucks.
Oh. Yeah. The fantasy is not working out the way he thought.
He's losing friends left and right. He didn't think
Yay.
that was going to happen.
Of course not.
But
He's a
the
turd.
but the Butterfields people are far enough removed from Incline Village that they just think he's mourning.
Aw. Bless their hearts.
Right? Incline
Yeah.
Village people that are peeling off from him are like, nah, something hinky.
Yeah. We liked her better.
Yeah, but the Butterfields people are like, oh, this poor thing.
Yeah.
So the Butterfields people sent Peter out on a fly fishing trip with some other
Oh
clients.
my God.
As I send him to go schmooze his grief away.
Yeah.
Schmooze and grieve. And that's where Peter met Robin on this fly fishing trip.
Hmm.
According to Peter's assistant, Robin was the driving force behind the relationship.
Oh Jesus, Robin. He's not worth it.
And the couple would be on and off for a few months.
Mhm.
Robin still lived in Seattle, and the relationship was semi long distance for a while.
Mhm.
And while Peter seemed to be very happy with Robin, he wasn't quite ready for a serious relationship.
You don't say.
Yeah, he threw that last bitch off a cliff.
Right?
Just saying.
He needs space.
The last person he got serious with got slingshotted off of a
Right?
fucking cliff.
Yeah.
But Robin was the one pushing for a commitment that would lead to marriage.
Mm.
And people around Peter said that the new relationship infused new life into Peter.
Ah.
He was smiling and happy again and focused on work.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
During a vacation to Hawaii, Peter proposed to Robin.
Mm.
They had a wedding date scheduled, but they broke off the engagement for a few months before getting back together.
Huh.
Then after they get back together, Peter got a call from Butterfields. Um, he called Butterfields because basically, Robin is saying, if we're gonna be together, we're gonna be together, but I'm not moving to Incline Village. You have to
Yeah.
come to Seattle.
Oh, good. Well, good for her. Get what you want. I don't know.
And so Peter got a called Butterfields, yada yada yada, went through the
Mhm.
paperwork, and he got the all clear to move to Seattle with Robin.
Hmm.
He would keep his home in Incline Village so that his assistant could continue using it as an office,
Okay. Fabulous office.
surrounded by fancy antiques,
Yep.
in a bedroom village
Yeah.
nestled in the Sierra Madres, overlooking Reno and Tahoe, respectively.
Fabulous.
I bet he let her live there too.
I mean, it makes sense.
I'd live in that house if you could promise me Peter would never come.
Right?
I'm not mad at the assistant. Yeah, stay your ass. Go on
Yeah.
to Seattle. Do your lottie dot
I
thing.
can
Go.
have it all to myself. Yes, please.
Yes. In Seattle, Robin and Peter would settle into a very nice life that some would say was really similar to the life that Peter had with Renette.
Uh,
They
I,
tra- they traveled.
at what point do you have that like discussion with your new girl? So my wife died in a tragic accident, but the cops are like really interested in me.
They've had the conversation,
Hmm.
and in later interviews, Robin would say that she never believed Peter did anything to Renette.
Okay.
That it was all a tragic accident. I'm not sure which of the 50 stories he told her, but
Yeah.
whichever one it was,
Yeah.
she decided to rock with it. And according to Robin, when she traveled with Peter to various business and art functions, he was always surrounded by nice and loving people.
Mm.
And Robin is a firm believer that mean people cannot attract nice people, equals he didn't do it.
Oh my God. Oh, precious baby.
The Pollyanna of it all.
Right? Oh.
Like, are you waiting for Tom Sawyer to come over and wash your face? It's
That's
that
right, Becky.
it's
Oh
that
my God.
it's that level of Pollyanna.
Yeah. True love
It's
will
like,
follow
girl,
you forever.
forever and ever.
Yeah, that is really naive.
Like even Pollyanna would be like, girl,
Yeah. Be real.
girl.
Come on.
I'm as innocent as they come, and I
Yeah.
don't believe that bullshit for a minute.
Yeah.
So in November 1999, and the cops' quest for alternative evidence is starting to pay off.
Harry Potter and the quest for the alternative evidence.
That's what it is.
I love it.
Some of the cops were going through the boxes and bags that made up the case against Peter, and they realized that while Peter's clothes had been tested for various evidence of
Hmm.
dust, debris, yada 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 related to the airbags, no one had bothered to test Peter's shoes.
Ooh.
And after running a series of tests, the cops found that there were asphalt streaks on Peter's shoes.
Yes. Ah, skid marks.
And these scuff marks proved that Peter at some point had gotten out of the truck on the turnout before the truck went through the guardrail,
Nice.
and he must have scuffed his shoes on the asphalt when getting out of a moving vehicle.
Yeah.
When the cops looked at the gas cans that Peter had in the truck, they noticed that the little plastic diskies
Yeah.
on the inside,
The seals.
yeah, missing.
Oh. It was a setup, Batman.
Yeah, like when the cops found the gas cans in the truck, they did notice that the lids were loose, the
Hmm.
caps were loose,
Yeah.
but they didn't look so deep as to look for the little disky seals
Yeah.
at first. Um, but yeah, so they were like, huh, yeah, leaving these unsealed, uh, yeah, this could have gone really bad.
Yeah. That and when he admitted to tampering with the
Airbag.
yes. It's a lot of circumstances.
Well, they let the airbag thing go
Yeah.
because he admitted tampering with the airbag.
Mhm.
So any evidence that they found related to the airbags going off,
Mhm.
like any talc or cornstarch or whatever
Yeah.
on his clothes, um, they kind of had to let it go because all the defenses, well, yeah, he told you he did that.
Yeah, true.
So they quit looking at airbag evidence altogether
Mhm.
because even though they felt his story of why he tampered with the airbags was some bullshit,
Yeah.
the fact that he admitted to doing it kind of called it a wash,
Yeah.
and a defense attorney would get that piece of evidence thrown out fairly
Yeah.
quickly because he admitted to tampering with it.
Yeah.
So they go back to the transcripts of Peter's interview after they found the little diskies are missing.
Yes.
And they found a part in the interview where Peter said that he was looking for a fire.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, the discs missing was their proof that Peter was expecting this truck to blow up.
Yep.
He wanted it to, he thought, because life is a movie.
For him.
For him, for Daniel Lugo, for a lot of people,
Yeah. The
life is a
worst period. Yeah, for the
Michael Bay
worst
movie.
people. Yes.
And as soon as a car goes over a cliff, it's gonna catch fire. Boosh. Because life is a Michael Bay film.
Mhm.
When they put this evidence alongside things like Peter's hat being found towards the top of the bluff
Yeah.
instead of downhill or over the cliff where Peter was found, the fact that his hat was found at the top of the bluff indicated that the hat had fallen off of Peter's head before the truck had gone over.
Yeah.
If it had been on his head when he was thrown out or as it was going over, it would have been a lot closer to him.
Yes.
Or at the bottom of the cliff somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Peter's inability to tell the cops how he had been ejected from the truck,
Through the window.
duh, and his lack of injury, the kind of devastating, horrible injuries that's usually associated with being thrown from a moving
Yes.
vehicle. Peter's ability to hold on and use his phone while hanging onto the side of a cliff
Yeah.
or the side of a hill. The lack of mechanical issues with the truck. And the fact that he could have steered this truck out of danger
Yeah. So easily.
at any moment.
Yep.
All made for a very nice circumstantial case for murder.
Yeah.
Took them a year, but that's all they're going to the courts with.
Yeah. It's a lot of circumstances. It's a lot.
Yeah,
And you can overwhelm a jury with circumstances.
it is a good case for more likely than
Yeah.
not this was staged to look like an accident,
Yep.
and it was
Oh,
actually
yeah.
murder. Now, as the cops and the DA are getting ready to take this case against Peter to the grand jury,
Uh-huh.
the DA got a call from Peter's dad, Lou
Oh,
Bergna.
God. The great man.
It's a great man,
Lou
Lou.
Bergna.
Great man.
Calling.
Great man, Lou Bergna. The district attorney of Santa Clarita for 4,000 years.
Great man.
Greatness. Surrounded by greatness, if you've known Lou Bergna. And Lou asked for an in-person meeting
Mm.
with the DA. The day before the grand jury, Lou Bergna came into the district attorney's office. During their meeting, Lou started by explaining that he believed in his son's innocence, which not a shock.
Yeah. That's his boy.
Lou went on to explain that even though Peter and all of his siblings are adopted, He loves Peter as much as he could any fruit of his own loin.
That's lovely. Seriously,
It is.
and not sarcastically. That's lovely.
Yes. And I do believe him when he says that
Yeah.
he loves all of his children as much as if he had squirted them out himself.
Yes.
Lou went on to tell the DA about some of his war stories from his time as the DA in Santa Clara, with each story designed to emphasize that Lou Bergna is pro law enforcement to the bone.
To the very core.
To the bullet hits the bone. Lou said that he understood that the cops and the DA had a job to do, and he understood that no ethical district attorney worth their salt would be bringing a case to the grand jury if they didn't feel that they had the evidence to make a strong case.
Yes.
And Lou was confident that Lou said he was confident that the DA felt he had that kind of evidence.
Yeah.
He thinks that he is a man of honor and wouldn't be trying to railroad his kid.
Yeah.
Lou even told the DA that if it had been his idea to tell Peter, tell the cops everything you know,
Yeah.
take the polygraph test,
Yeah.
tell them what you know about this accident.
Because you're innocent, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
You told me so.
Lou said that he wasn't there to intimidate the DA.
Mm-hmm.
He's not there to get a peek at their case.
Yeah.
He's not there to argue for his son's innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Lou said that he would always support his son, but if the evidence pointed toward Peter's guilt, Lou would no longer back him. And
Okay.
he left the DA's office.
Wow.
In later interviews, the DA would say that there was a hint of regret and
Aw.
apology in Lou's
Yeah.
voice during that conversation.
Yeah.
And in that moment, Lou Bergna was not a legendary
Yeah.
lawyer. He was a sad old man trying to come to terms with the fact that his son may be indicted for murder
Yeah.
and there's nothing he can do about it.
Yep.
Which I thought that was sad.
That is like, yeah. It's not something you'd wish on anybody.
No, the DAs didn't feel like he wasn't when he asked for the meeting, they were expecting him to try to throw his weight around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's the great Lou Bergna. He's a 500-pound gorilla.
Exactly. And I'm sure they've been through situations like that before.
Right. So they went in there fully expecting that he was gonna
Yeah.
puff his chest and threaten them or try to intimidate them
Yeah.
or try
Yeah.
to get them to divulge information. And he didn't do any of that. They just said that he was.
He just did his duty, huh?
They just said that he was like he just felt they felt like he just needed to come in and say this.
Yeah.
That I love my kid. I believe my kid is innocent. But I also believe that you're an honorable district attorney
Mhm.
that would not be bringing charges against my kid if you didn't for real think that there was something.
Yeah. True. True.
Now I gotta go back to my family and figure out what the fuck is going on with my life. Like, yeah, after Lou said his piece, the DA said, you know, he appreciated Lou coming in.
Yeah.
Then he reiterated that he's not going to give Lou any information. But, you know, he did say, look, I can't tell you what I got,
Mhm.
but I will tell you that I feel like I got enough to indict your son.
Yeah.
Lou just was like, fair enough.
Mhm.
Left the office. Kept it pushing.
Good for him.
Yeah, I feel bad for old Lou.
Yeah. Again, it's like that's not something you wish on people. Like I want people to pay for their mistakes, but I do feel sorry for their families.
Yeah, because they didn't.
Yeah, you don't raise a kid hoping this will happen.
No.
You want him to stay out of trouble, stay safe, and thrive.
Not even Ted Bundy's mother believed that he was going to go do the
Yeah,
shit that he went
true.
off to go do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had to tell her, Mom, I did it.
Poor woman. I feel bad for her. Fuck him. I'm glad
I
he
know,
died
don't feel bad
scared.
for Ted.
I'm glad he died scared and like with his like butt stuffed with cotton and
Yeah,
weeping.
that's fine. I'm okay with that. But
That was
like,
great.
Old Louise, he had to be like,
She didn't
Ma.
deserve that.
And he was like, Ma, it was me.
Oh, poor woman.
November 15th, 2000, and the case against Peter Bergna gets presented to the grand jury.
Yes.
In total, there were 15 witnesses that were booked in to testify, and it was like cops, first responders,
Yeah.
Renette's brother Rick talking about the legal battle that they
Nice.
were gearing up for
Oh, yes.
to ensure that Peter wouldn't profit any
Yeah.
more than he already had,
Yeah.
because he's already collected some insurance and
Yeah,
things.
he's made quite a profit from her death.
Yeah, they paid him off just to make sure that he stayed out of their family business,
Mhm.
didn't get any of their property, kept him out of the dairy farm. He did
God.
collect, I think, most of the insurance money.
Yeah. Oh, I hate greed so much. It drives me crazy. Hate it.
It took 2.5 years, but Peter Bergna was finally indicted for the murder
Yes.
of Renette Riella Bergna.
Yes, Renette. You will have your vengeance.
Revenge!
Revenge.
Once Peter was indicted, the Riella family dropped their wrongful death suit.
Okay.
Well, because they didn't give a fuck about the money. They just wanted to lock Peter into a story that could be properly investigated
Yeah.
and get on the record what happened and get him convicted of something.
Nice.
If the wrongful death suit is what got on the record, this is what happened, and Peter admits that he did it,
Mhm.
that's fine.
Yeah.
If the wrongful death suit came out that it's a legit accident, they would have licked their wounds
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just continued to mourn.
Mhm.
But they wanted to lock him into something,
Yeah.
which is why they dropped it once he was indicted.
Nice.
Because an
Nice.
indictment is really what they want.
Yeah.
They were happy to get their day in court, and Peter would be arrested in his new home in Seattle without incident.
Oh my God. Oops, that's the wrong one. Hello.
Run.
But you can run, but you can't hide.
No, he can't.
Was
run.
it an easy takedown? Did he cry?
Also, remember, he's a soccer fan, not a soccer player.
His thighs aren't the thigh lights that they should be.
No, he was arrested without incident.
Excellent.
He didn't cry. He didn't fuss. They knocked on his door, and Robin was like, "Peter, there's someone at the door for you, darling."
Who could it be?
And they arrested him, and took him, and
Yeah.
extradited him back to Nevada.
Well, he is the son of an extraordinary man, former DA.
Great man,
Great man.
Lou Bergna.
I bet he did feel pretty bulletproof. And it's been
Probably.
2.5 years.
Yeah,
He's like, they're going to try. They're going to try.
they'll do their worst, but nothing will happen.
Exactly.
Push, push. I should go back and rewatch that.
Oh, himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I used to watch it like, it was like one of those things, like if you came across it on TV, you stop.
I remember listening to it on an airplane on repeat.
Yeah. Oh, I remember those channels. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was that funny.
It is so good.
He's a
What
bastard,
a piece of
but
shit. I know,
but-
but he's so good. And that's so funny.
yeah, like that is a perfect piece of
Oh,
stand-up.
McCabe.
in a
It
lot
really
of
is. It's
ways.
beautiful.
So after his arrest, Peter was brought back to Nevada where he attended a bail hearing. And the bail hearing is something that he promptly lost.
Yay. Oh, good. He couldn't get out on bail?
Nope.
Straight to jail. Go directly to jail.
You did not pass go. You did not collect $200.
Put on the jumpsuit.
After losing his bail hearing, Peter immediately fired his attorney. Because if you can't get me out on bail, you can't help me with the rest of this shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. You've
You
got to
are
leave.
worthless.
Robin helped him put a new legal team in place,
Mhm.
which is her because she doesn't believe him because he's such a
Yes.
nice man. And nice people don't attract mean people.
I'm nice. He must be nice.
Poor, poor, poor.
I.
That sweet summer child.
Jesus Christ. It's almost delusional.
While the DA was confident in their case, they decided not to seek the death penalty because their case was mostly circumstantial.
Smart. Yeah, that's a good move.
2 days after Peter's bond was revoked, Lou Bergna, a great man,
Great man.
surrounded his family in greatness,
Cloaked and swaddled in greatness.
died of a sudden heart attack.
Oh my God. Aw.
I
He
feel
died
bad
of a
for Lou,
broken
but
heart.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, I think so. I think the grand jury did its thing, and his boy was revoked bail, and he's like, I can't live through the rest of this. Ah!
Aw. Oh, Lou. I'm sorry, dude. That sucks.
And that's why you should always be in a state. Shit you
Hmm.
can't handle, heart attack. Animal attack, heart attack. Maritime disaster, heart attack. Attacked by a bear, heart attack. You see how this works?
Yes.
Be in a state. If there's some shit that you just can't handle, just be in a
There-
state to just be like, ah! Ah! That'll fix
Escape hatch.
it'll fix it all right there.
True.
Now obviously Peter was crushed with the news of his father's death,
Yeah.
but because he was denied bond, he was not allowed to attend his father's funeral. I feel two ways about that.
Yeah.
On one hand, fuck you, Peter.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, I know people that have done time
Mm-hmm.
and have had to miss a loved one's funeral
Yeah.
because they couldn't get out for whatever reason,
Mhm.
and that is heartbreaking.
Yes.
But fuck Peter.
Exactly. I mean, her parents buried her,
True.
so extra fuck you.
But I
Ah,
also feel bad for it. Just made me think of people that I know that
yeah.
have
That,
experienced the death of a
yeah.
loved one while they were in jail, and they couldn't get out to pay their final respects or say those
Yeah.
last goodbyes.
And that
And
compassion speaks well of
it's limited.
you.
But fuck Peter. I don't think
Yes.
Peter deserves it. It just made
Yeah.
me feel
Yeah.
like there are people that are not nearly as horrible as Peter Bergna that didn't get to lay their
It's
parents to
true.
rest.
And like the only people I feel sorry for is like anyone in that family who would have been comforted by Peter being there. Like if his mother was like, "Oh, I could get through this funeral if all my
Or his
babies."
siblings
So
or
like them, I
nieces
have
and
compassion for. Like,
sure.
it's a shame. Like if he would have been a comfort to you, that's a shame.
But
But fuck you,
fuck
Peter.
Peter.
Fuck
Fuck.
you. Ha ha.
So by this time, the media has picked up the story. And in interviews, Peter would hop back and forth between whining about missing his dad's funeral
Yeah.
and the hurt that he felt, knowing that the Riellas thought that he had something to do with the tragic accident that killed Rittenhouse. Why do they think
Yes, you did it.
But why do they think I did it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I did it, but they're not supposed to talk about it.
That's so rude.
They're not supposed to say anything to me.
Right? That wasn't the
They're
plan.
just supposed to let me go do it.
And sell their farm for my benefit.
Duh. Don't they know my father was a great man and now he's
Great
dead?
man, and I want the money. I want it. It makes sense. Give it to me.
And yet, through all of the whining, Peter maintains his innocence.
Of course, he's a turd. He's a turd.
Peter would go to trial in the fall of 2001.
All right. Ugh.
And the
That
district
bastard.
attorney's theory of the crime is pretty simple. Peter wanted Renette dead so he could get his hands on the insurance money, Renette's family money, and pursue other women.
Yeah.
There's no great caper
No.
to be unraveled here.
He just wanted like a cheap divorce, so to speak. He
Yeah,
wanted to profit from it. He wanted a new wife, and he didn't want to split assets with like in a divorce.
right. Because it was no secret that the Bergna marriage seemed to be heading towards divorce.
Yeah.
Peter was frustrated with Renette's travel schedule, and he knew that if they got a divorce, he would never be able to get his hands on the cash that was associated with the insurance
Yeah.
or the dairy farm.
Yeah.
So while Renette was away, the cop's theory
Yeah.
is that while Renette was away, Peter came up with the plan to stage the car accident and kill Renette.
Oh, so it was a rush job.
Yeah, they don't think this was a well planned out like thing. They their theory of the crime is that he was frustrated about his marriage, this relationship,
Mhm.
for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
One of which was her travel.
Yes.
And he was just sitting around while she's on the European continent being fabulous.
Yeah.
And he's ruminating and ruminating and ruminating. And probably within, we'll never know because we're not in his head,
Yeah.
but their
Thank
theory,
God.
is like 72 hours, maybe less, of knowing when she's coming back
Yeah.
is when he hatches this plan.
God. It is such a wily coyote plan.
Yeah, so it's like the way the cops, the DA, they think that like the day before he picked her up, he was
Yeah.
like, I know.
Oh my God. And this all stems from like the confidence of being good at being like an antiquer.
Oh yeah,
He's like, I'm great at everything. I am a super genius.
I antique. I sold a whole bunch of slot machines for
For
like
$1 million.
a ridiculous sum of money. Right now, for their part, the defense team said that the DA's reenactment of the accident couldn't be trusted,
Hmm.
and that any lapse in Peter's memory or conflicts in the story were a result of the extreme trauma.
Ah.
Trauma.
Trauma PTSD. Oh, this was before that was in vogue.
Yeah, no. This is regular trauma, just regular degular old trauma of being thrown from the vehicle
So suddenly, so violently.
and the horrible accident that resulted in his wife's demise.
Tragedy.
Tragedy! Tragedy! That's what he thinks.
Yes.
That's what the defense would like you to believe.
Yes,
Because trauma fogs the brain.
it does.
The
Very
defense
conveniently too.
also tried to flip the idea that the reconstructions of the accident were rigged. Rigor Morris, girl. Rigor Morris.
How?
They don't explain.
It's just don't believe what your lying eyes tell you.
Yeah. Oh, they also tried to get Peter's interview of the polygraph thrown out. That didn't work, but they tried it.
I don't blame them. They wouldn't be worth half their fee if they didn't try.
They tried it. It didn't work. But whatever. Because the defense wasn't successful in getting Peter's interviews thrown out, the
Yes.
jury got to see all of Peter's contradictions in full and glorious technicolor.
Excellent. Yes.
When the jury got to Peter's polygraph test, the defense tried to drive home the fact that Peter did not fail and that the results were inconclusive. Yeah, because you Bill Cosby'd all over him.
Yes.
Bush, Bush. Of course they're inconclusive when you Lamaze into the machine.
Yes. We can see you throwing the results. We can see it.
They literally wrote that in the report. Subject seems to be trying to throw the test
Yeah.
with inconsistent breathing.
In case they get the video thrown out, let me make this clear.
Man, they even left the door open for the DA. Here's what's funny.
Mhm.
So, while the defense is talking about this polygraph that he didn't fail,
Yeah.
it was inconclusive, you can't say that he failed it,
Yes.
yada yada yada. Bringing up that line of questioning opens the door to let the DA bring in the polygraph examiner
Nice.
so that he can talk about Why?
Nice.
The test was inconclusive, and Peter's blatant, horrible,
Mhm.
and obvious attempts to beat the
Yes.
machine.
Yes.
He was like, he played in our faces for an hour. In
A
our
whole
faces.
freaking hour.
He may as well just like John Cena, you can't see me all over the place.
Ah, I know.
Just bro.
Laws are for mortals, for peasants, not for me, the son of a great man.
Also, John Cena has officially found his lane as an actor.
Oh yeah, just like goofball,
Yeah,
screwball.
like buff man child
There you go.
is his.
That, yeah, that is him.
See,
Perfect.
I watched his a new movie on Prime.
Yeah. What's it called?
Ricky Stinicky.
Yes. What a dumb title. Is it as dumb as the title?
Dumb with a little bit of heart.
Oh, okay.
It tries.
That's nice.
It also has Zac Efron who looking a little old in the neck. I know Zac Efron is probably hit 30 something.
Yeah, but like playing Yvonne Eric aged him.
Yeah, he looking a little old in the neck. I still need to see Iron Claw.
Me too. I know.
But I was like, "Ooh, is that Zac Efron? He look old in the neck."
If we hadn't known that, if we hadn't seen this start as a teenager, I'd be like, this is someone lying about his age.
I was like, I know you in your 3s, but you ain't that deep that you should be looking like that in the neck.
Some people just like age quick.
Man, it's that Disney.
Yes.
But Ricky Stinicky was cute. It's about Zac Efron and his little buddies. They make up an imaginary person that gets them out of trouble.
Ah.
Anytime they get into some bullshit, it was their friend Ricky Stinicky.
Yeah.
And it works all the way into adulthood.
Mm.
And then finally they get into a position where they need to introduce Ricky to people.
Yeah.
And so they hired John Cena's character
Nice.
to pretend to be Ricky Stinicky. Hijinks and heart ensue.
Fun. Okay, that's cute.
And I was like, oh, so okay, this is the lane now. Huh?
Yeah. Good for him.
Neither The Rock or John Cena have the range of Dave Bautista.
No, true. I would never have called it.
I did
Honestly,
not have.
I did not see it coming.
I did not have Dave Bautista eventually becomes Oscar-worthy actor
I know, right?
on my Lifetime
Nope.
Wrestling bingo card.
Nope.
But here we are.
Exactly.
And I predict that The Rock is soon going to stop acting now that he's in charge of WWE.
Oh, good for him.
Well, I mean, Vince is out.
Yay. Finally, for real, for real.
I think so.
Yeah, those were some gross.
I'll put it like this. Letting The Rock, a non-McMahon
Yeah, true.
outsider, take his spot
Mhm.
as CEO is a testament to how fucked he is with the board.
True.
They
And The
don't-
Rock's not going to let that go. The Rock's never let go of anything.
No. The Rock gonna
My
get
franchise now. My company now.
The Rock is probably gonna get back at Vince, Stephanie, and everybody else for whatever
Good.
microaggressions he experienced in 2001.
Are you?
There are a few dramatic moments in Peter's trial, and in addition to the drama that was Peter's interviews after the crash and the polygraph
Yeah.
and all of that shit, Renette's brother Rick gave a heartfelt and angry testimony
Wow.
on the family's suspicion that Peter had killed Renette
Ooh.
and Peter's fight for the family money
Mm.
and to try to get the family property. There was also a moment that the jury went to the crash site for a field trip.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's where they need to be.
That was a good move.
Yeah. Field trip.
Yeah. Because like how many people have at least one person seen it and like found it to be eerie?
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of people are really uncomfortable when they think of that story and they look at the place. So I think that's a really smart move.
And I think people find it eerie because when you're out there, it is obvious how avoidable it is.
Yeah.
Because, yes, it's a huge bluff, but this is a thing that's used for base jumping and sky
and when
diving.
You're talking about like a small road in a winding mountain, you are thinking of it like every inch of it being perilous. But when you see just how wide
and paved,
yes,
because this is the area that's used for like base jumping and stuff like that, so it's not a dirt gravel road where you could say, a rock or something got caught. Like this is a paved road that is used for varying outdoor sports. So you get there and you realize how easily avoidable this whole thing would have been.
Yeah.
And that's eerie.
Yeah.
One of the witnesses that took the stand was someone Peter was doing time with. And according to the inmate, Peter told him that he had driven his truck off the side of the cliff and jumped out before it went over.
Yeah.
Accurate, because that would explain the scuff marks on the sheets. Would. When the inmate asked Peter if Renette just sat there and let herself go over with the truck, Peter said that Renette was unconscious at the time.
Yeah.
This is why I think she was asleep.
Yeah.
I know I gave my personal theory in episode 1, but this is exactly why I think she was asleep.
Yeah. It makes sense. Like with the time change, being on a plane, being picked up in the middle of the night. Of course she's going to be like exhausted.
And the drive...
And why would she want to talk to this asshole too? I'd go to sleep.
Right. And the drive from the Reno airport, which is the biggest one that takes international flights, to Incline Village is an hour and some change.
Yeah. Yeah,
you're that exhausted, you're going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
That's a good nap.
Yeah.
So he's saying that she's unconscious. I firmly believe she was asleep.
I bet he started to formulate his plan once he got the call from her about what time to pick her up at the airport.
Right. That's probably, and that's...
Oh, she's going to be tired.
And the cops were thinking in the same way, which is why they're like, he didn't think about this for more than 72 hours.
Right.
At the time of her autopsy, there were no drugs or anything like that in Renette's system. Mm-hmm. But sadly, the injuries to her body were so severe that even if he had beaten her or done something to her before the actual crash, you couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
That's also another reason why I think that she was asleep. She was so loose.
Yeah.
That just everything just happened to her.
Yeah.
And I hope to God she just stayed asleep.
Yeah. I think she probably felt the sensation of like falling or whatever, started to come awake, but as soon as like the first blow hit, she doesn't know. She's just gone.
I would like to hope.
Yeah. That's my hope for her too. That's my prayer for you, Annette.
That.
Yeah.
She already did a decade and some change with Peter Bergna huffing and puffing on top of her. Yeah. Can we give her this kindness?
Yeah.
So, Peter went on to tell his new inmate that he killed Renette because she didn't want to have kids and that he couldn't get a divorce because of financial issues.
What a toad.
First of all, I think the kid thing is a cop-out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he wants children.
Oh, really?
Him and Renette were together better part of a decade. Mm-hmm. When they get together at 35 and 38 respectively, they are both still in prime childbearing years. Mm-hmm. If he wanted children, if they wanted children, they had a decade to sort that out.
Yeah.
And I think he trots out, she wouldn't give me children is because that's an easy way to make a woman look difficult or
Okay.
broken or somehow
Yeah.
an unsatisfactory wife.
Okay, yeah. He was just kind of done with the marriage, but
But here's a way to make her look bad.
yeah.
Because if he shits on her being a career woman,
Yeah. Then it's just
he's
jealousy
an
and petty.
asshole.
Yeah.
But if he talks about wanting to grow the family and wanting to experience parenthood, fatherhood,
Yeah.
yada yada, you know I'm a lifelong youth sports guy,
Yeah,
so
true.
I'm really into kids. That makes Renette sound like a bad person.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
For not giving that to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why he keeps floating the kids thing. I think his urge for children is satisfied by being involved with
Yeah.
youth sports.
It's just character assassination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I can't prove it.
Yeah. But it aligns with his character.
It does. Peter also told his cellie that he had a good lawyer and didn't feel that he would get convicted. And the inmate testified against Peter. And this guy that testifies against Peter has a long history of snitching to get his charges reduced and yada, yada, yada. But in this case, he didn't get a reduction. He didn't ask any favors. He was just like, no, this guy is an asshole that killed his wife for no reason. And
Yeah.
I am an honest criminal.
Yes.
I rob, I break into things, I steal stuff,
Yeah.
I turn in other criminals so that I can get a few months off.
Yep.
I am an honest criminal.
Yep.
This motherfucker gives us criminals a bad name.
Yes, he does.
So I need you to get him.
You killed that lady for no reason. She was having a nice life.
Right? She really was.
Yeah. What a shame. What a waste.
Renette just sounds like a lovely person.
Mm-hmm.
The defense would call Peter's mom and some of his other friends to testify
Oh
on
my
his
God.
behalf.
Mommy, say nice things about me.
All of whom said that raising the life insurance and the double indemnity clause on their policies, on their insurance, was all Renette's idea.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the dead woman that can't say anything. They even said that Peter was shocked, I say, to get such a large insurance
He
payout.
couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe his luck.
He knew.
I mean,
he
he
knew.
couldn't believe it.
Fuck you, he knew.
I know, right?
Just because they didn't find a fucking accountant's book with all of his debits and credits, that mean he doesn't know.
No, he's a greedy little thing. He knew every penny.
I'm not going to give your brother $20. I
Yeah,
keep my
I know.
finances separate.
Tedious.
The defense also tried to submit an alternative theory of the crash.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, of course, an attempt to insert some reasonable doubt by explaining how Peter wasn't so much thrown from the truck
Yes.
as he fell out of an open door.
Oh.
That's why he just had a little dust on his booty.
So he was asleep too. They should have gone for, I don't know, alien abduction, anything.
You know
would be
what's
better
funny?
than-
One of my cousins actually fell out of a car like that once.
Yeah? Were they asleep?
No, this particular cousin is a little bit of a weirdo. And when we were kids, he used to like to stand up in the back seat.
Yeah? Okay.
He's a weirdo.
That is weird.
And he was standing up, which is his wont. And he was standing against the back door.
Mm-hmm.
And the door flew open. Right as we were getting onto a freeway.
Oh, God.
He was fine, but he had more cuts and bruises than Peter Bergna.
There you go. Guilty, guilty, guilty.
I'm just saying, I've seen somebody fall out of a car door that was moving, and they still had more injuries than Peter.
True.
He didn't even sprain an ankle. He had some cuts on his face and on his arms
Yeah, that
because
sounds
he
right.
had jeans on.
Smart.
Ohio in winter, you wear jeans.
Hell yeah.
No, it wasn't winter. It was spring, I think. But anyway, he had on pants. He still had more injuries than Peter Bergna. When I got to that part, I was like, no, I've seen that injury. I know what that looks like. And I know that you would have been a little bit fucked up.
Yeah, this man is lying.
Right? So, but all that story did was open the door for the DA to poke holes in the defense theory of the crash.
Yeah.
It's almost like the defense doesn't want to earn their money.
No. Well, how could they?
They
This
want
is so
them to go
ridiculous. Yeah.
In all, Peter's trial would last for 6 weeks, and the jury would deliberate.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Holy shit.
Because the case is so circumstantial,
Mm-hmm.
there is a parade of accident reconstructionists, forensic people,
Yeah.
yada yada yada, to explain the science behind he let that car go over the thing
Okay.
and faked it.
Wow. That 6 weeks. That's a long
There was a
trial.
whole person that was put on the stand to explain why the hat was found at the top of the hill and not at the bottom of the hill.
A whole separate person.
Like, there's a whole dude for that.
Wow.
So their case is circumstantial and actually very technical.
Yes.
I'm cutting out all of the technical stuff because it
Yeah.
is a lot. So that's why it went for as long as it did and have that many witnesses.
Wow.
And in the end, the jury was deadlocked.
Ooh, bad jury. Bad.
Peter would get a hung jury that was stuck at 9-3 in favor of conviction.
Huh.
In November 2001, a mistrial was declared.
Okay.
And after the mistrial, Peter puts up the Incline Village house to make bail and prepare for a second trial.
Oh, so they set bond for him this time.
They did let him have it the
Okay.
second time around. 11 days after the trial ended, the district attorney would refile charges with prejudice.
Oh my God, with haste.
Post haste.
Yeah. He
Toot
did
sweets.
not let 2 weeks go by. He's like, oh, the hell you say.
Toot sweets.
Oh, you got out on bond? Oh, the hell you say.
I'm coming.
Coming for that ass.
I'm gonna get you, get you, get you, get you.
One way or
Or
another.
I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna get you, get you, get you, get you.
One way.
He's gonna get him.
He is. I love it. I love it when they are on a mission from God.
He's like, I even told your daddy I was gonna get you.
Yes, he did.
Your daddy died of a broken heart because he knew I was going
And if
to
I could
get you.
charge you with that too, I would.
But you can't charge death by broken heart.
I know. Not yet.
True. Peter would get his retrial, and that would get underway in June of 2002. So like 8 months.
Okay. That's pretty quick. I mean, it really goes to show how much slower the justice system is now. Where it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he had that next trial within 8 months. That's so quick.
It does feel quick. The defense would get things started by asking for a change of venue, saying that Peter wouldn't be able to get a fair trial in Reno, so close to Incline Village. The judge said, fuck off, and we're going to stay in Reno.
There you go. Ha.
So the defense took that L when the judge wouldn't allow, they took that L, and then the defense gets another L because the judge wouldn't allow their theory of brake failure to be admitted as evidence. They had gone out and found some ambulance chaser, paid
Yeah.
forensics person
Yeah.
that was willing to testify that the F-150 is prone to brake failure.
Right.
Even though the
Right.
cops, the DA, and everybody in the prosecution had already gone to Ford
Yeah.
and literally had a mountain of paperwork of
Yeah.
specs around the F-150
Yeah.
that showed that this thing is not prone to brake failure.
No, not at all.
But whatever. So that's 2 L's for the defense.
Yes.
Right out the gate. Since they weren't going to be able to submit any evidence showing a different theory of the crash, the defense leaned hard on calling in Peter's friends and family to show that he's just a good dude. He's a good dude, Jeannie.
Yeah.
Good
He's a
dude, don't
good
kill his wife.
Girl. He's crazy,
Crazy
about
about
Elvis.
Elvis.
Loves Jesus.
And his daddy, too.
Set him free. Free falling. It's like, no fucking way, dude.
Yeah. But he's a good dude.
Yeah. Bro. Let him go because he's a bro.
So, To combat this, the whole Peter's such a good guy story, because when the jury comes back hung 9-3 in favor of conviction, right? The jury wasn't necessarily out because of the evidence.
Oh, they liked him.
The 3 that didn't want to convict, some of them said he seemed like such a nice guy. He's so successful. He's this, he's that.
Yeah.
So the prosecution is going into it like, we really don't have to fight the evidence. We have to fight Captain Good Guy over here.
Yeah.
It is telling that only 3 people were swayed by that.
Yeah.
Though.
I'm annoyed that 3 people were, but and for such shallow reasons. He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, like no record, successful, good home, good family.
And bitches be crazy.
Right? She wouldn't give him children.
I know, right?
He's frustrated. So to combat Peter's good guy image, the DA put Peter's ex-wife Rebecca on the stand.
Nice!
They were married for less than a year in the 1980s.
Yeah.
The defense tried to keep Rebecca off the stand, saying it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But the judge gave them another L. They're like, nah, you keep saying what a good dude he is.
Yeah.
Your whole defense
True.
is he's a good dude, and a good dude can never do this.
Yes.
So they're allowed to put up somebody that says he's an asshole.
Yes.
The defense is getting L after L after L on this one.
Good. Ha ha.
So on the stand, Rebecca said that she had been married to Peter for 2 years, and in their time together, he was hardly the sweet, lovable guy that's being described by the defense. According to Rebecca, on the second day of their honeymoon, Peter lost his shit and went berserk because she didn't make his hash browns the way he liked.
Oh my God.
First of all, who's making hash browns at home? You get them from the IHOP.
Exactly.
I wouldn't know how to make hash browns.
I buy them from Trader Joe's and I heat them up.
Yeah, I'll put them in a pan with some oil and some salt and pepper. I'll do that.
Exactly. How do you do them wrong? If there's a wrong way to do hash browns, you go to IHOP.
Right? I'm like,
get them right.
Exactly. But whatever. Rebecca would say that when they first met, she had fallen for this nice guy version of, like, she's like, yeah, that's real. Because that's the guy that I fell for. But the minute they were married, different dude.
Wow.
Peter made Rebecca feel like her life was in danger.
Oh my God.
But she didn't talk about any of that in the divorce hearing because she had been raised not to put that kind of business in the streets.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah.
They are people of a certain age and time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, I think, yes, I believe her when she says she was just raised not to put your business in the streets like that.
Absolutely.
But they also didn't have children. They were married for only 2 years.
Yeah.
They,
and she's obviously scared of him.
And they don't have any...
want to rock the boat either.
Outside of that, they don't got shit.
Yeah.
They don't got a house together. They don't have children. Yeah. They don't do anything. So
just make a clean break.
Outside of her fear and Peter just being an asshole, I can and not wanting to put the business in the streets.
Yeah. I
can totally see where it's just like I can make a clean break without all of that.
Yeah.
You know, so I'll let her have it. In total, the retrial would last for 2 months.
Oh my God.
We still got a parade of specialists that got to go through here.
Still.
And this time, Peter would be found guilty, 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 guilty.
Yay!
Of the murder of Renette Riella Bergna and sentenced to 20 years to life in prison.
Yay!
During his sentencing, Peter read an Eagle Scout statement.
Oh, God. No. No.
Yes, he did.
Oh, God.
tearfully,
reptile,
tearfully,
crocodile tears.
tearfully. Peter said, he would always do the right thing and always do what was good.
Uh-huh.
That he would always remember Renette and would always love her.
Shut the fuck up.
They always do what's right and what is good is
Yeah.
a clip from the Eagle Scout
Yeah,
oath.
their creed or whatever.
Oath, I call it. Peter's mom, Pat, lost her shit and screamed at the jury that Peter was innocent.
Oh, God.
I
Man,
feel a little bit
down.
bad for Pat. She just buried Lou.
Yeah.
Now Peter's convicted.
Poor woman. She doesn't deserve it.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about Pat to know whether or not she deserves
Fair.
this.
Someone raised this kid.
Right. Renette's brother, Rick, said the verdict was just and that Peter had hurt both the Riella and Bergna families.
Yes.
There are two families that are never going to recover from this fuckery.
That's true.
But before Peter could be formally sentenced,
Yes.
the judge had to deal with a jury misconduct charge.
Ooh.
Yet information had surfaced that one of the jurors had been smoking marijuana.
How dare she?
We
made sure not to have this in California.
No, they're in Nevada.
Exactly. You would expect it in California.
True. and that same juror had been given information about the trial to her boyfriend.
The slut. Information slut. Slattern, yes.
It was a false alarm.
Ah.
Yeah, it was a last-ditch effort for Peter's defense to try to get him out of this bullshit. The man who accused the juror of misconduct was the boyfriend of the juror's friend.
Oh my God.
This dude was also a fame hound. Like, he's the kind of guy that buys a map to the stars' homes and knocks on their doors for photo ops.
Attention whore.
Fame whore.
Yes.
He's that guy. Literally, he's the type of person that gets the maps to the homes and hopes that, like, if he knocks on the door and he can just talk to him, they're going to be friends.
And he figured out or found out that someone connected to him was on this jury. He was like, here's my chance.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
He's like a less goofy version of John Travolta.
Yes.
In Fred Durst's movie.
Oh my God.
The Fan or The Fanatic. I think it's
Yeah.
The Fanatic.
Yeah.
I watched this when I had a cold.
Yeah.
So I could have been loopy from Theraflip.
But a real douchebag.
So, no, Fred Durst wrote this movie. Wrote and I think directed. This movie, it's called The Fan or The Fanatic. One of the two. You can find it on Prime. It's free. And it stars John Travolta as an autistic man.
Oh.
Who is obsessed with this action star.
Yeah.
And wants to meet him. And through a series of events, ends up kidnapping this man, killing his wife, because the action hero was mean to him and all he wanted was an autograph.
Oh, God.
Scientology ain't that good to you after all, is it, John?
No.
LRH ain't living up to his promises today.
No.
Is he?
No.
It is one of the worst performances from Travolta I have ever seen in life. And I'm counting Battleship Earth.
Wow.
This is worse than Battleship Earth.
God. That's pitiful.
You have not seen pathetic and weird until you see John Travolta pretending to be autistic, busking on Hollywood Boulevard, being an English bobby.
Okay. What?
It's bad.
That sounds tragic.
this movie's entire budget went to getting John Travolta.
Yeah.
Because outside of him, I've never recognized any of the other actors. Anyway. So yeah, this fame whore.
Yeah.
This fame hound.
Yes.
This TMZ wannabe found out that his girlfriend's friend was on this jury and he wanted to get close to it. So he made up this fucking story so he could get his 15 seconds of fame in the spotlight. That's it. He just wanted to be involved in the biggest trial in Reno.
Yeah, and the defense, of course, went full for it.
Yeah, so it did.
It was a straw to grasp at. That makes sense.
They tried it. It's their job to try it. Once that whole bullshit was sorted out, Peter was sentenced and sent to prison to serve his sentence at 49 years old.
Nice.
20 to life. Minimum, he'll be 69 when he gets out. As part of his sentencing, Peter will also have to pay restitution to the Riella family.
Oh, that's delicious. I know his family will, find every way to hide money and whatnot. But I'm glad that he has to cough up something.
Yeah, I don't think I'm sure they could sue civilly. I don't know if they would be able to. I don't know if they have as good as a case to sue the Bergna family, meaning Pat, most specifically.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a good enough case to sue Pat for restitution. Peter's just going to have to pay that with the 75 cents an hour he makes in prison.
But still, that has to bother him.
I'm sure it does.
Much of this for payday, and now he has to pay these people. Fuck.
Yeah, he can't even put his 75 cents an hour on his books for a ramen or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
He has to give it to them.
Yeah.
And this pleases me. I just don't think they would have a case to sue his family.
I don't know. If they hide his money, maybe.
True, he does have assets.
He does a lot. He has antiques. He does. But rich people know how to do rich people tricks to hide money. I would go after them.
I guess it would hinge on how inclined his family was to do it.
Yeah.
If Lou had been alive, they may not be inclined to do it.
No, you will pay him.
Lou was just like, you know what, I'm gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
So
Let me get this out of the way.
In 2018, Peter would appeal his case, saying that the news coverage of the case should have allowed for a change of venue, but once again he took another L.
Yeah.
And his conviction was upheld.
Yay.
And that was the case of Peter and Riella and Renette Bergna.
Wow. Oh, poor Renette. You deserve so much better than that goofball.
She seems awesome. Rotten hell, Peter.
Yes. Absolutely.
Ah! This is so stupid, but my friend Devin is in this band called Anubis.
Yes.
If you're not listening to Anubis, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Get off.
But their album, he just spotted his own album at Amoeba on the stacks in the shelf, and I could not be
that is awesome.
More proud of the homie. If you're into symphonic fantasy metal,
And
Anubis,
if you're listening to us, you should be.
right? Anubis is your shit.
Yeah.
Go get them. And Anubis is spelled Anubis. You can find them on Spotify, on all of the things. Give my homie some love.
Yes, and money.
And a couple of ducats.
Yeah.
He is an amazing cat. They are an amazing band.
Yes.
I got to be in their video.
That is so cool. And while you're at it, give us a like and a subscribe wherever
Oh,
you're
yeah.
getting us.
Like, comment, subscribe. Feed the algorithm.
Yes.
Feed the... It
Please.
is hungry. It wants food. The algo is hungry for your engagement. Give me your data. And on that note, I've been Samara.
And I have been Jeannie.
And this has been Talk Deadly to Me.